Hi, it's Colleen with Rope and Reseller, and I'm here for a weekly update. What I sold on eBay for June 26th through July 2nd, 2017. Let's take a look.
A Polo Ralph Lauren visor. This is part of that estate sale that I went to. $39.99 is what I sold it for. Cost me $2 at that estate sale, and $6.06 in eBay, PayPal, and shipping fees for a total profit of $31.93. That took 6 weeks to sell. And yeah, just keep on the lookout for any of those older. There's the tag right there. I sold a pair of Doc Martens, Oxford lace-up black leather, men's size 9, women's size 10. These are unisex. I do believe these went to a gentleman. I sold them for $49.99. They paid shipping, so the total revenue was $60.80. $4 I paid at the Goodwill, which I thought was a pretty good deal. $15.24 eBay, PayPal, and shipping fees for a total profit of $41.56. And those took 4 months to sell, even though they're sort of a hard size to sell, I think. I sold this Ariat women's western wear. It was a sheer blouse. Picked it up at a thrift store for $1. It had a tag on it, and it accidentally ripped off, but I disclosed that, and it sold for $19.99. I paid $1, told you. $5.02 eBay shipping and PayPal fees for a total profit of $13.97, and that took 2.5 months to sell. I sold 2 of these for a total of $13.29. They are serving spoons from Oneida. They weren't particularly old, I don't think, but this is Flight Reliance pattern. You can get on various websites or scroll through. It helps a lot if you have the pattern name when you're listing flatware. It's kind of like that pipeline. I list it and then I sort of forget about it. Anyway, I buy giant bags of it at estate sale, so this probably cost me about 50 cents for both of those. $4.68 for shipping, PayPal fees for a total profit of $8.10, and that took 16 months to sell. I sold this pipe. It is actually a corncob pipe, and it's absolutely fascinating. This company, Missouri Meerschaum. I'm sure I'm saying that right, and I slaughtered it. But anyway, they dry them out, and then they make pipes, and they've been making them for a really long time. And I won this in an auction, so there's the actual tag. And some of the newer ones are not as valuable. In fact, I saw them selling on a counter at a gas station the other day, so obviously they were never meant to be particularly high-end. But this one has, it's a square shank, which is the kind of the long part here. So that was unusual. And then this kind of amber colored plastic that they put on the end of it. And it was used. It sold for $28.49. Cost me $3 out of a box lot at an auction. $6.51 for PayPal, eBay, and shipping fees for a total profit of $18.98. And that took 2 months to sell. Next up, I contemplated keeping these because I just thought they were so mid-century and so cool, but I decided that was not worth it. So I sold them for $37.99. They're vintage paint by numbers, but they were actually really well done. I've seen some poorly done ones. These were really nice, but the backs were kind of trashed. I picked these up at a garage sale for $2, and the PayPal shipping, eBay fees $12.33 for a total profit of $23.66, and those only took about a month to sell. For paint by numbers, you're looking for animals, some unusual stuff. If you do just flowers, sometimes ships can do okay, but if you just get some more generic or poorly done, like I had this one that had a seagull and an ocean scene, and it was so awful. It took forever to sell. It did eventually sell, but it sold for about half of what I thought it would sell for. Anyway, something to look for. Smart wool men's jacket. It's a wool jacket. I know it's summer and it's here it's about 90 degrees. So surprised it sold. The guy offered me 60 bucks. I wanted it out of my storage. So I sold it to him for $60. I picked it up at a thrift store for $1. I had to do a little repair on the arm because it had come undone. There's the tag. I don't think I took a close-up of it, but this one of these sleeves had kind of come undone. So I did a repair, and I actually think I repaired it after I took the photo because it didn't really affect the photos very much. So the fees on that and the shipping, $13.58 for a total profit of $45.42, and that took 3.5 months to sell. And then this I overpaid for. I am such a sucker for these tablecloths, and they never sell for very much, and I always pay too much for them. And this one was really pretty. It's a card tablecloth from like the 40s and 50s and 60s when women got together and played bridge during the day because they didn't have anything better to do. There were some stains. There was no tag on it or anything, but I disclosed all that. Sold for $18.99. I paid $8 at an estate sale. It was way too much money. If they're brand new, they're worth a lot, but if not, then if they're fairly generic, they're not worth more than 20 bucks. So $6.75 PayPal, eBay shipping fees for a total profit of $4.24, and that sold within the month. The last thing I sold was this Willie Nelson t-shirt. I picked it up at the thrift store. It was half off day, so normally it was $1, and I got it for 50 cents. $14.24 is what it sold for. I don't think it was a concert t-shirt. It had a pretty vintage tag on it. So anyway, $5.61 shipping and PayPal eBay fees for a total profit of $8.13, and that only took a week to sell. So that was kind of a good win-win thing. It went fast, and even though I didn't make all that much money on it, it turned out okay. So, okay, for June, looking at my numbers, it is $162.55 for everything collected, $10.50 for cost of goods, $37.51, $114.54. Now that's just for those 5 items, and then I had to break it out. So July, $131. $11.50 for cost of goods, $38.27 for fees, and $81.45. So let's go ahead and reveal the totals for this week. And so the totals for June and July, I sold 9 items, $131.22 for what I collected and what that can't be right. $293.77. That's right. $293.77 is what eBay shows me and what I tell my husband. $141. That can't be right at all. So that's not right. $140. That's not right either. Cost of goods. I'll have to $11.50. $23. So $23 is what it cost me. I should have been more organized. This is what happens when you have 3 children at home with you. $23 for cost of goods, $75.78 for fees, for a total profit with my Amazon merch, which was 3 shirts for $19.02. Oh, here it is, $195.99. So $4 short of my 200 goal for net profit, plus the merch. So that was $19 for the week. I sold 3 shirts. For a total profit of $215.01, so just nudged myself over my $200 goal.
Okay, so I'm pretty pleased. I made over my 200 if you include my merch sales. That seems to be helping just eke me over my weekly goals. And so I can't complain. It's July. My sales are up phenomenal compared to last year, like 80% above last year. So I must be doing something right, listing more or whatever it is. But yeah, so just keep plugging along. Like I said, eBay Open is in a few weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. And if anyone recognizes me and wants to stop and chat, I'd be more than happy to do that. I love talking eBay, and what better place than eBay Open where everybody in the room is selling on eBay. So looking forward to that. My tip for the week has to do with cost of goods because as you saw with that tablecloth, I spent $8. I charged almost $19 for it, and in the end, I only make $4, and that's not really a good rate of return. So you need to think about how much you're spending on something, and sort of my rule is if I'm going to spend $1 on something, I want to put a zero behind it and get at least $10 net. So that's after all the fees. It's not worth my time to spend all to take pictures and list and ship and do all that. You have to look at how much you're paying yourself. I've been watching quite a few YouTubers, the Craigslist guy out of Chicago, and he makes phenomenal rate of return. Now, granted, he has a pawn shop, so people are bringing stuff in that we would not necessarily have access to, but he makes phenomenal profit on all of the things that he buys. So I guess if I'm going to spend $35 on something, I better make $350. So I am really focusing on making my money on the front end as well as the back end, and focusing on how much I'm spending, because that and how quickly can I turn it around, because really you don't want this stuff sitting around. So that's part of your cost of goods as well, is if you're storing this stuff. So anyway, I just want you to as you head out into the garage sale, estate sale, thrift store world this week, maybe think about how much you're paying on the front end of stuff, and think of what kind of profit is this really going to give me, and is this really worth my time. I try to list things for $20 or more, and sometimes I make mistakes. Now that's $20 gross, not net, but I try to shoot for that, because otherwise, to me, I don't have a lot of time to put into this. I probably only put 20 hours a week into my work, so I need to make as much profit as I can. So with that, I want you to go out and buy some really cool stuff and list it right away. Don't let it sit around, and go make some money. Thanks for watching. Have a good week.